What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and I am joined today with my siblings, my sister,
Divya.
Divya.
It's a name.
That's a name?
Yes, I put it off a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's not American.
And I'm also joined by my brother.
What's up, everybody?
Derek.
We get it together one day.
What else, man? All right. This week, we decided to take a late look at Mission Impossible Fallout. It made it to some of the streaming services, and none of us have seen it. So we said, let's take a look at it. It got really good reviews. So we'll let you know our thoughts on the movie. First and foremost, what did you guys think overall? Divya.
I'm going to go with good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I after watching this, I have a whole Mission Impossible thing now.
You what? Okay. Is there some vendetta you got against Mission Impossible?
It's just, I don't understand. I mean, like, if I complain about it, I'm going to, like, jump ahead. But I realized, like, preparing for this movie, and in my What You're Doing, I was going to say, oh, I also watched the third one.
Okay.
And I know I've seen them all.
Yeah.
But I find them very unrememorable.
Okay. That's not where.
Okay.
I know. I know it's not right.
I get what you're saying, though.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like, do I really like this movie if I don't remember anything about it?
That's an interesting take.
So,
okay.
so that is what my thoughts are.
All right. Derek, what's your overall thoughts on the movie?
I liked it.
Okay.
And I thought it was a good movie. And I will say that it is, for me, one of the best movies in the franchise.
Okay. Fair enough. I did like it too. Now, as mentioned before on the podcast, I've seen Mission Impossible 1 and 2 and this one. So I haven't seen any of the ones in between, so I can't compare it for the rest of the franchise, but it was very good, I thought. It kept my interest throughout the movie, I would say. So
It did
I
the
enjoyed
same
it.
for me too.
Yeah. So, all right. So I guess we'll get into plot. Of course, this movie's a year old, so spoilers for Mission Impossible.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, there are no spoilers because the same thing happens in every Mission Impossible movie. It starts off with them having to kidnap someone.
Okay.
They're going to replace them with a face machine. That's going to go wrong for some reason. They're going to have a new plan, and they're going to save the day at the last minute.
Do you think there's like a Mission Impossible outline? That
There is definitely is. And then, in the course of that, someone is a mole. Someone will betray them.
Okay.
That is Mission Impossible.
And they always
I guess
think
fair
that
enough.
it's Ethan Hunt that the one that's betraying people.
Oh, is that the case? They always think it's
No,
Ethan?
they don't always think it's Ethan Hunt.
They feel like
There was just two movies, one and this one.
Okay. So, well, I thought it was interesting. The premise of the story is so they had to get this plutonium, excuse me, one of the radioactive materials that you
make
use
nuclear bombs.
Okay.
for nuclear weapons.
Right.
So they had to get the plutonium, and the CIA butted in.
Yes, because at the beginning of the movie, they failed their mission. So the CIA was like, you guys can't handle it. We're going to bring in my boy, and he going to watch y'all back so we can get this plutonium back. Because they had it and they lost it or whatever.
Right.
So the thing is, so now the CIA is involved, and they're saying, like, you know, this girl, the White Widow, will be your point of contact to get this plutonium from her. And basically, they thought they were going to buy it, but she said, no, we want, what was his name? Nathan Lane?
No, John Lark?
No, that was the made up guy, because they did have to kidnap John Lark, and that went bad.
But
the guy they
Lang.
were trading for,
Yeah, it's Lang is the last name. I don't. Solomon Lang. Yeah.
So they had to basically get him and trade him for the plutonium, but that wasn't all bad.
Okay.
because Solomon Lane
Okay.
was the leader of the syndicate in Rogue Nation.
That's the one I didn't like. Is that the one
Was that
before this
4?
one?
Um,
Yes, right? Because it was Ghost Protocol, then Rogue Nation.
I'm about to find out for you guys.
Okay.
Right.
Yes,
Well, yeah, I thought
You
the
are
story
correct.
was.
Rogue Nation.
Yeah, I thought the story was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of things I figured out, but then again, I think they wanted you to figure out. One thing I was going to say, it was a lot of visual storytelling. You can tell, like, the camera lingers on stuff. When John Lark, so they meet him in the bathroom, which is one of the best fight scenes I've seen. It was pretty good.
He was kicking it up.
Yes, he was.
For both of them to be able to fight, like, I'm like, dudes.
And for Henry Cavill to be so huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was getting his butt kicked. So in there, they showed you get the phone off of him, and the screen was cracked up.
Yeah.
And then when Henry Cavill went to his boss in the CIA, and he said, "Oh, we picked this phone up," and they showed this like
New
pristine new phone and
Yeah.
stuff. It kind of, without telling you, like, "Hey, this guy's the bad guy," you could figure it out.
Yeah, I think that was pretty obvious. I don't think it was supposed to be like a secret that
Yeah.
he was the one. I think even when he joined the team, you like, just do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting. A few other things at the end of the movie, the little hook on the helicopter, like it
Yeah.
falls and then like the camera pans on the hook, and you're like, well, this is going to be important somehow,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of stuff like that. But to me, I think that's good movie making, you know?
Yeah. Show, don't tell.
Yeah, show, don't tell.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
that.
It's a good idea. But you're right. We all knew at that point that Henry Cavill's character, Walker,
Yeah.
was the bad guy, but it still took a few twists that I didn't.
What, the Alec Baldwin part?
I think I kind of knew that, but I think that kind of
Right.
was a bit surprising at the end. That was the middle actually, but what happened? I'm sorry.
I don't know
They
where
had
you're going.
Lang captured, and they set that whole thing up
Oh,
to.
yeah. That was kind of smooth.
That was smooth.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a good idea.
I thought it was, I knew something was up because I was like, thinking like, why do they have him sit in that chair?
Yeah.
I was like
to
that,
put the mask.
To put the
aside.
mask on. I was like, that's so random.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, that was unnecessary. And it didn't occur to me that he switched.
Yeah. And then I don't know. So wait, Walker he is John Lark, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought so, but
Yeah.
okay. They never specifically said
They
it.
did.
They did.
Yeah, they said
Yes.
it.
They
I missed
really
that
did.
part.
Because he was so bent on it being Ethan. It is just like, all right, why is this dude just so wanting everybody to believe that it is actually Ethan instead of someone else?
Yeah. To get him off basically to get them off of his
Right.
tail, and then Lang wants Ethan
That
to
was
be.
lame. And I really wish
Yeah.
I would remember what Rogue Nation was about.
Right, but you didn't
Yeah, because
like
this
Rogue
all has something to do with that.
But yeah,
Well, not even that. It's like what I said before. Like, outside of the first one, I don't remember these movies. I know I've seen them. I know that I like them. I don't remember them.
Yeah.
At least I said I liked them, but
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, but you know what? Honestly, this is basically all there is to this story. It's a simple story.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then the girl. Can they kill her by now?
With the MI6.
No, Julia.
His wife.
Oh, his
I'm so
ex-wife.
tired of her.
Oh yeah,
yes.
his ex-wife. My bad.
I'm done. Just kill her already so we can move on.
I mean, I guess didn't he move on? She's gone.
Yeah,
Whatever. It was
sort of.
somebody
But
else
she
who's gonna
keeps showing
kidnap
up
her.
in these movies. I'm so done with her.
They're just gonna
I was
keep
about to say,
kidnapping his
right.
ex-wife.
It's just like, dude, until he literally marries someone else.
Right? Because every time it was like, I know where your girlfriend is. It's just, I don't know. I'm done. Just kill her so we can be done with her in this story with them.
Yeah. So, besides the story, which Okay, so basically, Henry Cavill is the mole. He was the bad guy the whole time, working for Lang, because he's one of the apostles.
The apostles, yeah.
Yeah, or working for the apostles. Because Lang told him the apostles would give him the uranium. So he was working for them because he wanted the plutonium. Sorry. So he's the bad guy, and their plan was to. You would think they were going to blow up like a city or something like that, but this plan was kind of cold. I didn't think about that.
That's true.
They were going to blow up the bombs by like one of the world's largest freshwater resources.
Irrigation systems, yeah. So they would starve. That's crazy.
It's crazy. So it's like it would kill China, India, like a third of the world's population is what they said.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was an ingenious plan. Even like how to detonate the bomb is like you had to cut the 2 wires on the 2 separate bombs.
Yeah, otherwise
otherwise they'll go off, and you had to pull the plug on the detonator.
Yeah.
Which is pretty ingenious. Although I don't understand, I guess I kind of understand why the clock was so long.
Well, because they had to get away.
Well, Henry Cavill had to get away. But still, criminals, set this clock to like 10 seconds. I mean, like, real talk.
You have to be close to start the detonation, though.
Well, Lane was going to die. He didn't care. He was done.
Yeah. Did you have to be close to start the detonation? Because the thing had to... That's how the bombs worked, right? They had to communicate with the remote detonator.
Yeah, but he flew away. So once they armed it, it was armed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he armed it. Okay, I guess it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, if we really... I mean, because if he's not an apostle, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to survive, right?
Yeah. Set it for 10 seconds.
Set it for 1 second.
Just, forget timers. Just blow it up.
Yeah.
Like just blow up the bomb.
That's a common thing with these Mission Impossible. Everything's on a timer.
Yeah.
I did time it.
It was a lot more than 15 minutes?
It was 20 minutes.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I was like, this is way too long.
That's great.
And he did an awful lot in 15 minutes.
He sure did.
Yeah, he did. Well, I was just thinking, I'm like, this whole helicopter chase and fight took 15 minutes. Like, man.
Yeah.
And then that fight in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Which was pretty good, too.
So, where were all their guns at? Did they not take guns on this trip?
Oh, you talking about the agents?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no one had a gun.
Yeah.
They never have guns. I don't know what kind of secret agents.
If they have guns, where's your fist to fist?
I'm just saying, while we busy strangling people with ropes.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, I'm not gonna like.
Kept it trill with Benji. Like, he's not a fighter. He's not always in the field. So him getting beat up. Because I was looking at that, and I'm like, if they gonna have him like get the upper hand of this guy.
I was surprised by Lang, but then I was like, oh, right, he was an agent. Because remember, I didn't watch the old movie, so I don't know anything about him. And I was like, oh, that's right, they say he was.
Yeah, he was an agent, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this guy can fight. All right.
Yeah. I'm glad they kept it trill with Benji, though.
Yeah. Well, talking about the fights, let's talk about the action in this movie. Where I was thinking... the scenes were very good, but I was like, man, it seems like Mission Impossible is just there set up to create dangerous stunts for Tom Cruise.
For sure. I thought the same thing. Like, I feel like in every movie they're saying, like, what else can we do?
Yeah.
And that's what they do. But I feel like the same thing about Jason Bourne, too. They're like, oh, we killed somebody with a book. What if we used a newspaper?
Yeah.
So,
Next Jason Bourne, he beats him with a piece of mail.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, okay, the motorcycle little chase scene, Tom Cruise did that for real, which, okay. Yep, that you could die there. And of course he broke his foot on the rooftop little thing. Yeah, just a lot of...
It's a lot.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There were a few car chases back to back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that whole extraction of
That was
Lang,
pretty cool.
That was pretty good. Yeah. So I was wondering how they were going to do that, because in the movie, basically, in order to get Lang, the bad guys say, okay, we're going to kill everybody, and that's the police, right? And I'm like, well, you know, this government agency is not just going to kill innocent police officers, right? You know? And so I'm like, but how do you get around without...
And I did
know,
like that when
killing
he
everybody.
said, was like, are you squirmish about killing police officers? And he was like, I gave smallpox to women and children.
Well, the person he was impersonating did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was good. He put himself in the part. And just the whole scene, how he basically gave up a lot of the people working for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which are because they slid out of the back of his van.
It's
Which
very convenient. I was like,
how did y'all plan this? Cause,
yeah, like how you knew, like I'm gonna turn the wheel like this,
yeah,
and they all gonna
they're all
slide
gonna
out.
slide out of the back. The doors are gonna open and everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
very convenient.
Yes. But that was a good scene. Interesting way to get around it. So none of the police had to die.
I like the car chase scene in the old BMW.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Mission Impossible clearly sponsored by BMW.
A lot of BMWs.
A lot of BMWs.
I guess not a bad company to be sponsored by.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had that. That was when the MI6 agent was chasing them on a motorcycle.
Elsa, Elise, whatever her name is.
Forget her name. She was kind of unimportant.
Elsa?
She was in another movie, obviously, right?
Elsa, yeah. She's probably.
Probably. I'm telling you.
She was in, like, they had her, like, the audience knew who she was.
Exactly, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I really felt like if her one mission was to kill Lane, she could have did that 10,000 times.
Yes.
And she didn't.
True.
Yes.
Which was like ridiculous. She's like, the only way I get my freedom is by killing him. But I'm like, you could have killed him and killed him again.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't. I'm like, you ain't.
Dang,
real.
miss. She had that sniper shot.
In Rogue Nation, was that the one where he was tied in the room and then the girl came in and saved him? And it was Elsa?
Dude, how many times I gotta say, I do not remember this movie.
Okay. And if you want to know what other movie she played on, she played the girl on the train. Haven't seen the movie, but I do know that she was the main character in that movie.
Oh, it's a good book.
The girl on a train.
Yeah.
That's the title of the movie?
Yeah. It's a crazy story. Everyone's crazy.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Read the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Made it into a movie.
I'm like, why is it just called The Girl on a Train?
Because she's a girl on a... All right, side note. So every day on her way to work, she takes this train. And she passed by this neighborhood there in Europe. And she can see this family. And so she used to make up stories about this family, blah, blah, blah. Her name is whatever, whatever. So one day, while she's driving by on the train, she thinks she sees the husband kills the wife.
Oh.
And that kind of like starts this,
that does
ripple
sound
effect.
interesting, actually.
See?
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, you was about to clown her. But yeah, that's the only thing I know that she in, and I didn't even see that movie. So
Yeah. Well, back to Mission Impossible. It's interesting. What was your name again?
Divya.
Divya. Such a weird name.
Don't harass my culture.
That's your culture.
Yep.
Okay. It's interesting that you say, like, okay, so they're not memorable for you. Which I understand. And it might not be, because I really don't remember. Actually, I remember Mission Impossible 2 a lot. Like, I remember that entire movie for whatever reason.
That one I absolutely hate.
It's so stupid.
So I remember that one because I'm like, I do not like this movie.
Yeah.
And so actually, me like watching this and like thinking back to like, obviously this one had a lot of callbacks to the previous movie that I didn't remember. So it kind of like lowered my score.
Oh, I don't think it took away from the movie, though.
No, I don't think it did, but I don't like feeling like, oh, I should know who she is. I should know who Lane is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I couldn't even remember everything that happened with Julia. Because she died in the third one. And
did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I was like, I kind of was thinking like, I felt like she wasn't really dead, but couldn't remember it until Luther explained the whole story to the one girl.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, that answers that question. So
they
like,
pretended she was dead. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
because they really couldn't be together because her life will always be threatened. You know, her life was threatened anyways, and they weren't
Yeah.
together.
Her life's still threatened.
Yeah,
Threatened. I feel threatened.
yeah. So outside of the first one, these other ones, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, interesting. There's not a lot to this story,
No.
but it was still interesting and good action throughout. I would say all the action scenes were engaging, and I still wanted to figure out what was going on by the end of the movie. So, like, they did a good job there. So, at that point, I guess we can go over our rating of the movie. So, Divya, what do you say?
It's going to be kind of low, and not because I don't like the movie, but because my overall feels about this franchise.
Oh boy,
I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
6.5. Okay, Derek.
I'm giving it a 7.5.
Okay, I'll go ahead and give it a 7.5 too. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, but I feel like an 8's high.
8 is very high.
So yeah, so 7.5 for me. It was a very good movie.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me want to go back and check out the rest of the Mission Impossible movies and see what's going on there.
I will say, is it just me, or does he make the BMW look cooler? Because when James Bond was driving BMWs, he did not look nearly as cool.
Yeah.
He looked like an accountant.
Or what, Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was just Pierce Brosnan.
I was just like, like when he had the BMW and what, GoldenEye, I was just like, oh, okay. And this one, I just felt like they look really cool.
Yeah,
And it didn't look
it's
cool back
definitely.
then.
I think Tom Cruise make it look better.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, it's Tom Cruise. And I'm sure he'll do more crazy things to bring us more crazy movies.
Yeah. Well, they are in line to do 2 more Mission Impossible movies, and they're filming them back to back.
Duh,
Well,
because
yeah.
he's 80 years old and
He running out of time.
You might as well just film the next 4 back to back, so
Right.
you just have it.
yeah, but this movie made it a good amount of money, so
Yeah.
not surprising that they're continuing.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Oh, I
you might as well. I
actually
wouldn't
have
expect him to end Mission
the stat,
Impossible.
the movies for the movie.
Oh,
It is it made 791 million worldwide. It was the 8th highest grossing film for the year 2018, and it is Tom Cruise's highest grossing film to date, and the highest grossing film in the franchise, passing Ghost Protocol.
really? Okay.
I would say deserved, but I don't know because I didn't watch the other movie. So
You should
I
definitely
feel like
watch
they
the
kind
other
of.
ones. I mean, I kind of want to go back
You
and
should.
watch all of them, just because like I don't remember them, and it's probably because of it being so long ago. And only one that I really do remember is Ghost Protocol, and that's because
The
I
first
seen
one?
in the first one. But the first one, I know watching it, there's probably like bits and pieces that I have missed that are key to the story.
Well, I think what I like about the first one, because it was the first one, there's a lot of like twists and turns that you don't see
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
And like, for those who haven't seen it, spoiler alert.
I just remember the little rappel through the lasers.
Really? That's the one part you remember? How
was
about
a
like
kid.
his
Leave me
whole
alone.
team betrayed him?
Right.
I was a kid. Leave me alone.
I mean,
Everyone
that was
died,
the
and-
key thing though was the whole going down with the lasers and the string.
And then he had to catch his sweat. His sweat
Okay. Okay, obviously. You guys are missing the important part of this movie.
Hey, remember the video game we had?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Good old PS1.
Oh,
Yes.
yep. And
I
they
like
had
that game.
the mass thing on that.
Of course they do. That's their thing.
Dun, dun,
That man shows
I
up in
remember
every
the mask
movie.
thing on there.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh boy.
Right.
So, Divya, you had some stuff to say about the Mission Impossible
Right,
franchise.
so I feel like, because, obviously I got to compare it to the other spy franchise movies. And I kind of feel like I want to take it down a notch. At first I was like, oh, he might be one of the best. But then I'm thinking like, I don't think he is anymore.
Well, James Bond isn't anymore.
What?
You have to have it like
Well,
as
I
a
mean,
whole,
let's-
though, guys. Like you just can't. Excuse me. Go by like the recent movies. Like you got to look at it like the
I'm not-
whole thing. Like all.
I'm looking at the whole thing, and I feel like I know the Bourne movies. I know Bond's movie. As many times as I have seen,
Hold on. Like the Bourne movies, I feel like they all kind of just mix into one movie.
because they all took place, a day later.
Yeah, and then like all I know is he's running and he steps behind a train and he disappears. Like that's
So you don't.
Jason Bourne.
Okay, but Mission Impossible has the same formula also.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it's the same. Like someone's going to portray you, and I don't know. I just feel like if I don't go into the movie like, oh, I love this movie, do I really like it as much as I thought I did?
Yeah. The only thing is, see, the reason why I said James Bond isn't the best anymore, because if we look at Derek says you can't look at the recent movies, but I mean, I think we should, in ranging who's on top. In the Pierce Brosnan era,
There was 1.5 good movies.
1.5 good movies, and everything else wasn't good.
Yes.
And then Daniel Craig, every other movie was
So
bad.
2 good movies, 2 bad movies.
Yeah, 2 good movies, 2 bad movies. So it's too hit and miss with the recent James Bond movies to put it on top as the best spy.
But you're only counting everything from 1990. I feel like every Sean Connery movie was good.
Okay.
So you got 4 or 5 movies right
Then
there.
that gives James Bond an unfair advantage since Mission Impossible only existed since when?
1996.
Well, the movies since 1996, but the movies are based off of a TV show. They came out in the 60s.
But no one's seen a
Nobody,
TV show.
yeah, we're not.
You
No,
saying where
because
did it come
we're not
from?
talking about James Bond's novels. We're talking about the
I'm
movies.
just saying where it originated from. I mean, yes, the movie, the franchise, 1996, but the actual character, or loosely based off the character, was off a TV show.
But no one's seen it. Have you seen it?
No, it's 1966.
1966. Oh,
Yeah,
that show probably sucked.
Nope. Hey man, we got 60s Batman.
Yeah.
Is it good though, or is it just watchable?
It's funny.
But it's not good.
Compared to what we have now, yeah, it's
Best thing the 60s had was Andy Griffin. Come on.
Well, we've lost all our people that watched it. I don't know if we had a lot of people that
yeah, that's true.
was watching
It's
TV in the
it's either
60s.
that we lost fans from the 60s, or we losing fans because they don't know what we're talking about because they were born in 1995.
That doesn't, when 1905 is,
Yeah,
you'd think.
But all right. So what else about the Mission Impossible?
So I don't know. I just feel like I was gonna save it for my what you're doing.
Oh,
Okay, well maybe I'll save it for my what you're doing. But I started watching the third one. So like, since this is here, let me watch it also. And I was just like, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna have to take it down a couple of notches.
I think this would be a really good 3D rival episode of comparing.
didn't we do Best Spy already?
I don't think we did.
I think we did.
We did?
Yeah, I thought we said it was Jason Bourne,
We did say it was Jason Bourne.
but he's like an assassin, so it's kind of unfair.
All spies are assassins.
Well, okay, yeah, that's true. But he's
He's an assassin.
yes, he's an extra assassin.
Okay.
Didn't know though. I
Yeah.
didn't know that existed. But all right.
Hand-to-hand combat. James Bond and Ethan Hunt both lose.
Oh, definitely. Toys, James Bond though.
Yeah, okay,
Uh,
I'll give you that.
uh.
Ethan Hunt's got the gadgets too.
They use that same gadget. Get a new one.
The face thing.
Yes, it's in every movie. It's not cool anymore.
It was cool in the first one. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm like, we did this.
That's their thing, man. The mask is
Yeah,
their thing.
it's their thing.
Voice,
Which is
voice them
fine.
so you can sound like them.
Yeah. That was interesting. All right. Well, I guess that's it on Mission Impossible Fallout. If you've seen the movie and you want to leave your thoughts, let us know about it. But this is about time for us to get into the news. So, this week in the news, we got some sad news. The Pinky and the Brain writer, Gordon Bresic.
I Guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know.
He passed away, unfortunately. He also worked on things like Animaniacs and a lot of other shows that we 90s kids enjoyed. So that was some sad news.
Yeah, if you have not seen Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, the Ninja Turtles, like, you need to watch it.
Yes.
Like, you really do. Like, you cannot, it's kind of hard to explain, like, how funny and how these shows, growing up with these shows were.
Did you work on Looney Tunes?
No, they didn't mention Looney Tunes.
Okay.
Would that be Tiny Toons?
Look, Tiny Toons is what I mean, not Looney Tunes.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
And still
okay.
no.
No. Okay.
We're tiny, we're loony.
What's the rest of it?
We also.
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little
Okay.
loony. There you go.
We're invading your TV.
Interesting fact, Spielberg was attached to a lot of these as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is probably why these were just really great shows.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Pinky and the Brain. Like Divya said, if you haven't seen Pinky and the Brain, you gotta watch it. Find
You
it
have
somewhere.
to. Like, I feel like there's like, me and my friends still, like, we're like trying to figure out what we're gonna do for the night. And I'd be like, you know, like, what are we gonna do today? And they'd be like, the same thing we do every night, Pinky. And it's just like you walk into like this random, and it's just, if you've seen it, you get it, you understand it, and it's funny.
Trying
Same thing we
to
do.
take over the world.
One of the episodes I remember the most was they went back in time to Samson for some reason. And Brain was trying to steal his hair. And then there was the one where Pinky became president.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember those two episodes. Very good, very good. Animaniacs too.
Yeah.
Although, as an adult watching it, you really notice a lot of the inappropriate stuff
True.
in this show. Which I guess means maybe we shouldn't be so uptight on censorship. Because, look, as a kid, I did not notice any of the innuendos or whatever they put in.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
As an adult, though, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I know they didn't just say that or do that.
Yeah.
So a lot of those old shows are like that. Tiny Toons included.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what was it, Doctor? I want to say Scratch and Sniff, but
Yeah, I think his name was Dr.
Yeah.
Scratcherson, or Professor
right,
Scratcherson.
and he said he was a pianist, but they kept
A
They kept
pianist.
thinking he was saying,
Like to play the
Yeah,
piano.
they kept thinking he was saying pianist. And they kept the whole episode. They was trying to clean his mouth off.
I'm going to have to edit that out. I know it's anatomically correct, but I feel like we shouldn't say it on the show.
I agree with you guys. I feel like we should not.
But yeah, they never said it on the cartoon, but their reaction would be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was pretty funny. So yeah, that's obviously he was a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
Sad to see him go, but you said he was what 80,
68.
68. Oh,
Oh,
So he
wow.
was
Yeah,
young.
was
yeah, he's
relatively
pretty young. Yeah,
Yeah, youngish, I guess.
yeah. So yeah, he probably had a lot more stories to tell.
Yeah.
In other news, less sad news, I guess we put it that way. The Flash movie, which apparently is still being made.
Wow.
Haven't heard anything from DC in a while. Like Shazam was the last movie they had.
Yeah.
And I'm not counting Joker because it's not a part of the whole universe
Is
thing.
anything a part of the... Is there still a universe?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what they're doing.
No one knows. They don't know
Nope.
what they're doing.
They
Yeah.
don't. Which,
But yeah, it has a director now. They lost their directors before, so now Andy Muschietti.
What has he done?
As far as I know, he's done It Chapter 2.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but his other work is
So, but he didn't do the first It?
no.
Wait, hold on. It Chapter 2. So
Yeah.
not the second one, not the sequel to the modern day one? Or the modern day one that just
That's
came
the
out?
modern day one, right? Yeah, that's
Oh.
the modern sequel to the modern day one.
Sequel to the modern day one.
So I just don't know what to think about what's going on with Disney, or not Disney, DC. Yeah.
They're all over the place, and they continue to seem like they're all over the place. I mean, not, no knock to this guy, but it's just like, oh, Flash is still a thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
All right. Oh, there's still a universe.
I think they're
Yeah, so, because as far as I knew, the Flash was attached.
Oh, no, they definitely are. They have no direction whatsoever.
He directed Mama.
Is that what,
he's a horror director.
So Flash is going to be a horror movie?
He said, no, it's not. He did direct it.
Okay.
But, yeah, he said it wasn't going to be a horror movie, but, like...
Well, I'm sure he can do other things. I'm gonna put him in a box.
Yeah. So he's pretty fresh director on the scene, at least. But apparently he does. He's doing pretty well, so he can probably make a good movie. It's just, yeah, like we were saying, I don't know what's going on with the. I mean, is it? I just want to know: is it connected or is it not connected? If it's not, fine.
Exactly. If
it is, okay. Like, I don't know.
Because it doesn't have to be connected. In the past, these movies weren't connected. I don't need them to be connected, but if they are, tell me. And if they're not, tell me.
Yeah, especially since this is how you've planned to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what their deal is.
Because you could have made... Well, they should have made independent movies. We've been over this. Yeah. But you started with Superman... And that was a very standalone movie. It was just Superman. Mm-hmm. Then you should have done somebody else. Probably Wonder Woman should have been the next movie.
Well, yeah, I should have.
Well, like we continuously bring out, is like they saw how much the Avengers were making and how popular it was, and they wanted to jump on the bandwagon, and they threw these movies together.
Yeah.
It's like...
But along with that, apparently there's a thing coming out, and Joker's going to be the first movie of this DC Black.
So is that more darker movies?
Well, apparently what they're saying, they're going to be independent movies, so they're not going to connect. Mm-hmm. Which, again, is fine, but they said not necessarily comic accurate, so basically they're not going to try to make the characters...
It's not like they were accurate before they were making them accurate.
Yeah, I know. But one thing, before I get to the rest of it, what I don't like about that is you're not going to try to be truthful to the character that's in the story.
Oh,
basically,
so they're
you're
just
going to be using your name. It's like Riverdale.
Yeah, I don't like that. Because I was just, now that I'm thinking about it, that means it's like Robin can be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
You know, which they probably wouldn't do that, but, I mean, you just have Robin be somebody named John Kelly, and, you know.
What would be the point?
I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Because just like this Joker, you know, his name's Arthur Fleck. There's no Arthur Fleck in the comics. We don't know who this guy is.
I still don't understand.
And, you know, there are a lot of fan theories going around about who this Joker is. But look, I'm going to be honest, this probably, there's no plan behind it. They probably just wanted to make a movie about Joker. And this guy wanted to just tell a story. And that's all he's doing. But I'm not sure it's going to be faithful to the Joker character.
Isn't that what, like, those made-up comics book y'all be talking about? Like,
What If series?
Yeah.
Sort of, but even those, like...
Well, I think it's... To me, I think it's weird to, like, have a made-up character movie when we haven't got a real character movie.
And I think, like, if this was years ago, before, like, you know, the boom of comic book movies... something like this would work, because this is like, it's a standalone movie, and they come out and say, hey, like, this is not connected to the comic book. We just want to tell our story of our version of the Joker. Then I think it would be more readily acceptable and draw in more people. But it's just like, now with this superhero boom, it's just like everything is connected to something, you know, and then for them to come out and just say, oh, well, we just wanted to make a movie like this.
Well, I would say it doesn't have to connect. That's not my big part of it. It doesn't have to connect at all. Dark Knight series didn't connect to anything else. It was great. You know, that's not the important part. To me, it's not being faithful to the characters to an extent. I understand that you have to change some things in the movies, but I mean the core of the character should at least try to be the same as the comic. And to me, when you do a movie and you say, "Oh, not necessarily comic accurate," to me, they're just using the characters' names to draw an audience.
Exactly.
Why didn't you, like, not saying that Joker's going to be bad, it's probably going to be a good movie from what the reviews and stuff are saying, but if it's nothing like any kind of Joker thing that we've had, then why didn't you just make a movie about
a crazy guy?
A failed stand-up comedian that went crazy?
Yeah.
You don't have to call it Joker, and you didn't have to use that character. And I'm only using Joker now because that's the movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I agree. And I like what you're saying is that, like, you're saying, like, we want to make a bunch of movies that's not any way connected to the comics. So then just Warner Brothers make a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
And then, because I feel like one of the things that turned me off from the Gotham TV series, not that it wasn't a good TV show, was that they didn't stay true to the characters.
Yeah.
And it's like, you pump me up to say, hey, we're doing this Gotham prequel to Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. And then I get into it, and then it's nothing like the comic.
Yeah.
And it just, I feel like, it's like, you can't say I'm doing a comic book movie and then don't honor the comic book characters.
Yeah. I mean, at least try.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk about Sony all the time, but they tried with Spider-Man.
Well,
and
I just feel like, and I've said this all the time about DC, like, what turns me off of their movie so much is that it's like, I feel like they don't study and read their own comic books.
Yeah.
Like, whoever's doing these movies. And, like, with Marvel, Kevin Feige was a huge comic book fan.
Yeah.
And they go together and they get these comic books and say, what from this can we pull and put this into our movie? The movie's never going to be exactly like the comic because that would be dumb and impossible.
Yeah.
But the essence of it is still there.
Yeah. And that's
DC
the important
misses
part.
that.
Yeah.
And now, when they missed it, when they were trying to hit it, they're just saying, we're just going to do whatever we want.
Yeah, well, let's use the Dark Knight as an example. So now you have the iconic character, the Joker, in this movie, and Batman. Now, technically, they are not. This is far cry from Batman comics, right? But it was very good, and when you look at the characters of Bruce Wayne, Batman, and the Joker, it's still kept to their core.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I know for a fact, Batman Begins, is that what the first one was?
Yeah.
That storyline with Scarecrow poisoning the water source was pulled from a comic.
Wasn't that year one or something like that?
Don't know.
I think it was.
I know it was pulled from a comic, and I also know there was an episode in the animated series that also had the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So even then, even though Nolan was trying to, and he's not a comic book guy.
No, but I mean, you have to. This is your reference point.
Yeah.
You have to pull from that.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. So you have that as an example of even though they had to change it, and they still tried to stay faithful to the characters, and even in Batman Begins, some story plot lines from the comics, and then we get to Batman v Superman, which was what am I watching for both Superman and Batman? I don't know.
Yeah, and it would have been great if they would have used that actual storyline.
Yeah. So going back to DC Black, it's kind of okay, and then I didn't even get to the last part of it, but it's kind of like, okay, so we're going to make independent movies. Fine. Okay, make independent DC movies. I'm fine with that. Whatever. Not necessarily comic accurate.
Yeah, it's like, I'm fine with you doing a different take on someone, but I just feel like just being different to be different. Like, now you don't even have to try to be accurate.
And then the last part of it is that they're going to be R-rated.
Of course they are, because that's the thing.
Yeah. So, and I think that at that point they're just following a trend. Like, there's a crowd out there that's crying for R-rated movies, and what I don't like about this is, because obviously we don't have any movies slated for DC Black yet besides Joker. And what I don't like about it is that you're saying all these movies that you come out under this label is going to be rated R without even making a story.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. It's like, let's not rate a movie before we make it. How
Right.
about that? Like, I get with Marvel and their movies, they're like, it has to be family friendly. But I'm pretty sure the writers make a story and then they go, okay,
Let's dial it back some
Let's dial
so we
this
can
back.
fit it in.
yeah. So that's fine. So when I feel like when you say this is going to be rated R, then things just become unnecessarily
Because now
violent
you're
and
trying to hit a
unnecessarily
mark.
gory. Yeah, now you're
Yeah.
trying to make sure this is rated R.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. How about we write a good story, and then if it falls in the rated R category, then it is. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Instead of shooting for all my movies to be rated R, that sounds stupid to me, in my opinion.
I agree. I honestly don't understand the exception with, rated R superhero movies. I mean, Logan was a good movie. I don't know why it's like Wolverine had to be rated R. I feel like it didn't. I honestly, guys are gonna hate me. Deadpool was a stupid movie.
Well, yeah, I figured you would. That's fine.
Just it was dumb. I don't get why people like this stuff so much.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of just unnecessarily, or like they just want to throw a bunch of swear words in the movie, like that makes the movie better.
That's fine, but if it adds
you
to
know,
the movie,
If it adds to the movie,
yeah, Straight
And
Outta
that's the
Compton,
thing.
The Godfather, by all means, it adds to the movie.
and I think that's the main point, is like, if you're planning for it to be rated R before you write it, are you going to have things in it, or they're going to have things in it that makes it rated R that is needless. It doesn't actually add to the story or the feel of the movie. It's just going to be there because they want it to be rated
just
R.
because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it seems real pointless. Yep. So but that's what I have, and I don't know about this DC Black, but
I don't know. They gotta give me a list of movies or something. But then again, I feel like, do I want to see it if you just making up stuff? If I want to watch a movie that's just made up about stuff, I'll watch any other random movie.
True.
If I'm watching a Marvel movie, you know what I want it to be about?
Marvel characters.
Yes.
Right. I don't want to see a movie and you come out and it's called Red Skull, but it has nothing to do with Captain America or Marvel.
That's like the movies that came out with in the 70s. That's like the Captain America movies.
I thought they were just bad movies.
No, well, they also had nothing to do with Captain America. So like that's what that feels like. Just making random movies. But speaking of the Joker's a Joker trailer, and we took a look at that. So Divya, you said it actually looked pretty good.
No. I said.
I'm sorry, my bad.
She correcting you.
I felt like it made it seem better because the first trailer, I was like, what is this movie? What is it supposed to be about? It's stupid. So I feel like this trailer improved on that, but it still, for me, did not make me want to go see this movie.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And Derek?
I do feel that the trailer was better. It made more sense this time because the last time I was just confused. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, the first trailer was kind of confusing. Well, I didn't know what.
Like what kind of movie is this? Yeah.
Yeah. But it still did not make me be like, oh yeah, I want to go see this. I'm just like, okay.
No, it'll make money because it's Joker.
Apparently, it's getting good reviews. So it seems like it's a good.
It might be a good movie.
It seems like it's going to be a good movie. I'm only intrigued because I want to know like what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that first trailer was really good because like I still want to know what this is.
Or maybe that's how they get you.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're so confused. It's like, I have to go see it because I still don't understand what this movie is.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm trying to figure out what are you guys are going on with this here because I'm confused.
Yeah. Also, we had a Mandalorian trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised about how much I liked it.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. A lot of little highlights, but this seems like it's going to be a more street level Star Wars, I guess if you put it that way.
So they're not in space.
Level.
That's not what I mean. Like, I guess they'll probably be in space at
There's
some
no
point,
spaceships.
but more. more like, okay, so you have your major Marvel heroes, right? And then you get to like Daredevil and stuff, and they're on the lower level fighting crime on the streets.
So gritty?
No.
I don't know what you mean.
Smaller story. It's about people that's not in the big giant story.
So is street level the proper term for that?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Whatever. Fine. So anyhow, it seems interesting at least.
It seems interesting. If nothing else, the trailer is going to make me watch the show. At least the first episode.
Which is great because Divya doesn't like Star Wars.
I hate Star Wars.
Gets me every time with the trailer. I'm not even gonna lie. It gets me every time.
Yeah, this second trailer for The Rise of Skywalker. Because the first trailer I was like, meh. But the second trailer, I kind of want to see the movie now. So
yeah, nah. Although this, I will give it an episode or so. I thought, I thought the little music they had for it was very.
Excuse me. All right. Yeah. So the music was very nice.
I thought the music was nice. I hope. Well, know what I hope? You don't see his face until like episode 10.
Well, like, wait, he stays behind a mask?
Yes.
What if he does for the whole season?
That will be awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
that is my hope for this, which means we'll see his face in 30 seconds in.
Yep.
Well, we know who's playing it, right? I think we do.
Do we?
Yeah. I forget the actor's name.
Now let me hit up that IMDb.
Yeah. While you're looking up the actor of that, I mean, that'll be pretty cool. So that's coming out in a few months because Disney Plus is going to be out. So we get to check out The Mandalorian.
Oh, since we're talking about that, should we mention, it might be too late, I think today's the last day for it, that if you sign up early for Disney Plus, you can get it for $4 a month if you agree to use it for 3 years.
Yes.
You got to sign a 3-year
you have to
contract,
sign a
basically.
3-year contract. Yep. I saw that.
And the only thing is you got to have like a D23 account, which is like double like, oh no, because basically if you watch sports or Marvel, you already have a D23 account.
Oh, okay.
I got an email the other day and they merged all of their accounts together.
Oh, okay.
So the same password I've been using for ESPN now works on
D23.
Marvel, and I now have a D23 account because I use those
And so you get Disney Plus for $4 a month for the next 3 years.
for the next 3 years. Yeah,
Oh,
but today might be the last day for it.
okay.
So
all
sign
right.
up now.
I still think I'm gonna bundle it with my Hulu.
I can't decide if it's better or not.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'll only be adding $1 to my bill instead of $4,
Uh-huh.
but I don't want ESPN Plus.
Yeah, and then I have to add
Then you get the
ads
trailers.
back to my
Yeah. So that's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
See, it kind of makes you like,
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, with that bit of news, I think that was about all we had.
What's up?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Okay. Yeah, I knew they named the actor. I don't know who he is really.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
He was born in Chile. That was not important, but just that was the first thing they had up there.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. So with that, that's a what you doing? So we'll.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Start with
We got
Derek.
to talk about that.
Teak and tongue.
What?
Tongue in cheek.
Tongue in
there we
cheek.
go.
Oh, that's not even what that means.
Goodness gracious.
Goodness, do you not know what tongue in cheek
I
means?
do now that I said it out loud.
Oh my gosh, whatever. What you doing?
Yeah. What you doing?
I watched The Runaways season 1, and I
Okay.
liked. I thought it was pretty good. I really.
Yeah, it's an interesting show.
I really enjoyed it. I liked the pace of the show, the story. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think the parents are kind of lame. Like, dude, it's just like this guy is just coming to basically kill your kids, and they just standing there like, not our children. Like, dude, if you don't run up on this dude, and then they just like, oh, our kids have powers. Like, I'm like, all right, these got to be the worst parents.
Well, they are the worst parents because they're super villains.
Yeah,
So,
sacrificing people from the church.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I thought it was a really
if you haven't seen Runaways,
Oh, I have not seen Runaways, but I
Yeah,
don't
so-
plan on it.
You don't?
So.
spoilers
Oh,
for
you should check it out.
I watched the first episode and I didn't want to continue.
It's
No.
all, the first episode is always kind of slow on every show.
Fine.
That's fine. Divya, what you doing?
So I watched Mission Impossible 3.
Okay.
So I thought it was a good movie, but then it just made me think about all the other Mission Impossible movies. And I was just thinking, because, I'm watching it and I'm like, I know I've seen this movie before. But I didn't remember a single thing from the movie
Yeah.
or nothing like that. And I was just like, man, maybe I don't like this movie so much or whatever. So I was thinking about all the other ones. So honestly, I'm going to put this on record. I think I only really liked the first one. And Ghost Protocol. Ghost Protocol was good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
But
a
although I
hot
feel
take.
like, unless I'm misremembering Ghost Protocol, was it Sanaa Nathan in Ghost Protocol? Or, no, that was Paula
Okay.
Patton.
Oh, okay.
Did she die at the end? No, she's still alive?
Yep.
Did she
I'm
die
sure
in
they'll
any of
bring
these
her back.
movies?
I don't look at me. I know.
Yeah, she didn't die.
So I just feel like I think I would like the Mission Impossible movies that they kept her and Jeremy Renner and get rid of stupid Benji, and Luther been around since the beginning.
True.
Hey, yeah.
So,
Ben
I don't
Reigns, dude.
Right. Yeah. So next movie, bring them two back if they still alive in the universe.
You know
I don't
what,
remember,
Jeremy
but I'm assuming they
Renner,
are.
He couldn't be in the movie because
He was busy not being in Marvel movies.
Yeah, they can be in other movies.
They said,
I mean, it's not
they
like
said
he's in
because
these
of him
movies.
filming for Endgame. Oh, that's why.
Oh, that's why he wasn't in Fallout.
Yes, that's what they said. I saw it.
Okay.
Oh, so this where Henry Cavill's mustache came
Yes,
from this movie?
this is why Justice League had the weird CGI.
All right, real talk. He did not need that
He
mustache. in
did
this
need the
movie.
mustache. I feel like they just did that on purpose.
Right, like, and then I'm like, he could shave and grow it back, right?
That's what I was thinking.
They did that
Yeah,
on
they
purpose.
did that on purpose.
Like, I was like watching this, like,
Well,
so
they
that's where the
say it's
mustache
easier
comes
to CGI on a mustache than it is to
I
take
believe
one
that.
off.
I believe that.
So,
from. But he didn't need a mustache in any movie.
no,
I was
like it
thinking
had
that
nothing to
it
do with
had
his
nothing
character
to do with his character
here.
here. But I was
Did they do that because they didn't want him to look like
That's
Superman?
what I was about to
I
say.
don't know.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, I think it's because they didn't to compare him to
But
Superman.
all right, real talk. They could have got anybody to play this. What's his name? Webster Winter
Walker.
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 Yeah, you were real close there.
You had the W, right?
Oh, that's just like yesterday. Anybody could have played that character. Like, I was like, oh, Henry Cavill, he's gonna be really interesting, and then he wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
he wasn't.
I mean, I like the character, but no, you didn't need the talents of Henry Cavill for it.
Nope.
But they probably wanted him because they wanted a huge dude for the fight scene.
Oh, we could have got The Rock for that.
He was too busy shooting Hobbs and Shaw.
No, he wasn't.
Jumanji, probably.
Jumanji, probably. Nah, I wouldn't put the Rock in that.
I mean, I'm just saying if you wanted a big person.
The Rock is not the only
I mean,
big
I
person.
liked.
Name another big person.
I liked Henry Cavill
Ow.
in the role.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, that's interesting. I watched Infinity War again
Okay.
Okay.
because I still haven't watched Endgame yet.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I'm saving it.
It's like, man, I need to spend 3 hours watching a movie and I can't. So yeah, but it was interesting watching it again after seeing Endgame because like it's a new perspective. A lot of people complained about Peter Quill and stuff, but after seeing Thanos in Endgame, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, he would have did what he wanted to do regardless. Because I too rewatched Infinity War after I got Endgame. Because I was like, wait, I gotta watch Infinity War again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like watching it probably for the 15th time or whatever. I see things differently.
Yeah, because like they couldn't beat Thanos. Even like when they were getting the gauntlet off if you think about it, none of the people there on that planet can use the gauntlet.
No.
None of them.
But they didn't know about that yet, so they probably wouldn't even have tried.
Okay, so then what are you going to do with Thanos after the fact?
You got that right. Assuming he can't catch you,
Yeah.
you hop back on your spaceship that is damaged, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, Thanos would have got to them, and it
didn't matter. The point was Peter Quill messed up that one part.
He messed up that one part, but yeah, in the end, I feel like he would have got all the stones anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they couldn't even beat him in Endgame. They didn't.
Yeah, they did. Oh, well.
No, they didn't.
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
Stark had to steal the stones and wish him away.
Yeah, because he was kicking all their
Yeah,
butts.
can we?
All of them.
So at the beginning of Endgame, Tony Stark is complaining, like, if we were together, we would have won. But at the end of the movie, y'all were together,
And y'all
you were
didn't
still
win.
losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for Scarlet Witch.
Oh my goodness, was she killing it?
Oh,
Man, I was
goodness.
waiting for her to have that moment for so
Strongest
long.
Avenger.
Oh, fun fact. You notice they have not called her Scarlet Witch in the movies, and you know why?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't.
Oh.
Because for some
right.
reason, Scarlet Witch belonged to Marvel and Fox,
Right.
but Wanda Maximoff didn't.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But now
Now they can call it.
now they
Scarlet
can,
Witch.
and now they will.
Ah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last little point about rewatching it is I was thinking about the Spider-Man deal, and I was like, you know what? I am glad at least that we got Spider-Man in the two biggest Marvel movies that they will have.
Yeah.
Infinity War and Endgame, and he wasn't a small part of these movies. Well, Endgame, he was a small part, but Infinity War, he wasn't. And we got to see him. We got the Iron Spider armor. So we got what we needed.
I
I'm
agree.
fine.
I feel like the best of Spider-Man that we could have gotten. And like, it'd have been nice to see where it continues on.
Yeah.
But if it ends right here,
I'm okay.
it's fine. I feel like it kind of feels like a real ending anyways.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah, and they'll just replace him with some other young kid-like person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But with that, it's the end of the podcast. So thank you guys for listening. If you want to reach out to us, you can catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/3drivals. You can also email us at Gmail, it's 3drivals@gmail.com, or send us a tweet at 3_rivals on Twitter. Other than that, thank you guys again, and peace out.